after watching many of your videos, the way you, berate, and then a lot of what you offer, falls in the category of abuse. So your platform really is abusive to the community, and it deepens those psychological wounds that we already deal with. Naeem Akbar talked a lot about that.
Okay, in what way is my platform abusive to the Black community?
Well, yeah, because you're deepening the insecurities that many of these individuals who are, swimming in poverty and having to, quote unquote, forced to pull themselves up by their bootstraps after, decades, centuries of, oppression. You are deepening those wounds, and not only deepening those wounds and creating, tremendous self-esteem issues in the Black community, which could translate into many different behaviors. Like, men, you were, talking about some, one brother, Jamaican brother, who older man, and he was with a woman, and you're telling him, how weak he is when he has accepted, his status and reality, and those two married people are, and you do this often with married women. You assault, their structure.
Okay, so first of all, let me correct you there. You said married women in the Black community. First of all, in the Black community, our women have the lowest marriage rates by far. Okay, there's not many that are married, and even the numbers that we have, the statistical data that we have, is based on surveys. Okay, we know in the community. Hold on, listen. We know in the community. I've said this before many times. A lot of the people in our community are not going to self-report their numbers, or even talk to the government. They don't want the government in their business. So the problem is exacerbated. It's a much bigger problem than what it comes out as. The numbers that we have right now are low, but I'm saying that they're even much lower than what they're presenting. They're presenting that these numbers are around 26 to 30% marriage rate for our women. I believe it's probably like half of that.
Okay, but what the ones that do marry and find their way to that,
would you hold on one second? But would you agree that that is a huge problem, that we only have potentially somewhere between 15 to 30% of our women married? Is that a problem?
That's a major problem.
Okay, thank you. So you actually agree with me on that point. Go ahead.
That point, I definitely agree with you.
Okay.
But now that we know that the marriage rates are atrocious, as we unpack that particular piece of data, and try to extrapolate what could be going on. I mean, you already said that I am the self-proclaimed Pookie Ray Ray, so I'm in the community.
No, you
so
said that you are Pookie. You called yourself Pookie.
Okay, well, I accept the charge, and but what I'm gonna say to that is, that when you say that makes me more of a of a primary source to what's taking place in the community, as opposed to you living outside.
What do you mean a primary source? What are you talking about?
Meaning, when you want information about what's happening in the Black community, you're going to go to someone who lives there.
So you're trying to say I never lived in Black community?
I didn't say you never lived in the Black community.
So I have. I lived in Black community, grew up in the Black community, spent a lot of time even when I was in college and in my professional career in the Black community. So I know how our people operate. Why do you think I just said what I said about how we don't want anybody in our business, especially Caucasian folks? That is a well-known thing in the Black community.
Because you've been engaging the Black community. I would say, as well, looking at your video, the timestamps. Most of your content you made in like 2024. And so with that.
Yeah, you know why that is? You know why that is? You know why I can't really make much content anymore on certain applications? like
You
TikTok.
mean you mean your content as the greatest?
No, listen. The reason why I can't do a lot of my content on this app anymore is because our women despise the things that I say. And there's a
I know,
reason.
and that's the root of my argument with you. But go ahead.
Listen. So they have reported me tremendously. They've tried to get me removed. They try to get all kind of stuff they've tried to do to me, assassinate my character. They've tried to do all of these things because they don't like the things that I say regarding them and the community. They don't like
I don't think they assassinate your character.
It's not that they think I'm lying or I'm putting out false information. They just don't like what I'm saying because I'm highlighting a major problem, and the major problem is with a lot of them. But I also highlight, what men do in the community, but men have not tried to get me removed. Men have not tried to go all out and destroy me and try to find private information on me. Men have not tried to do that.
You know why?
Our women do that.
Do you know why?
I just told you why.
No, you didn't. I don't think you know why black men, because black men do have the same level of disdain. Black men just, know how to hold back more so than women. Women react; they implode more, because they could carry their emotions more in their sleeve.
Can somebody please help Black Eagle and give him a few? Hold on a second.
But did you ever wonder
hold on
why
a second.
So many
Hold on, I'm trying to help you out. Can somebody please help this man and give him a few coins, because he's going to be really upset with me if he doesn't get more than a few coins.
I'm not going to be upset with you. I love you. That's why I'm here. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm taking the time out to repair your broken wing, bro.
Okay, look, you got some coins. Look, you got some coins. Look, you got some coins. You're getting compensated for your time. That should make you happy, right? You got some coins?
Yeah, because those coins gonna cost me, bro. Because I know how you do. You set your bait up for the unalive shot.
Listen. I want you to be able to get you a 2-piece and a biscuit when this is over, right? Because I know you're gonna be stressed, brother. I know you're gonna be stressed. So I want you to be able to de-stress.
I want you to de-stress.
Listen. I want you to de-stress.
Starbucks after this.
Listen, I want you to de-stress, and I want you to hop on your phone, hop on Uber Eats, whatever you use, and I want you to order you up a 2-piece. I don't want you to eat. I didn't say a bucket. You need to lose some weight. Listen.
This is apropos the moment.
Listen. You need to lose weight. So I didn't say a bucket.
Self-esteem.
I didn't say a bucket. You got to lose the weight. I didn't say a bucket. I said a 2-piece.
Hey, listen though, brother, listen. That's what you do. See, you start going in at the self-esteem when you know you can't handle the argument,
brother.
And that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna be comedic for you tonight.
Okay, what do you have next? I have all kind of data here. What do you have? I want to go. Give me a point, and then we're going to address that point. What notes do you have to address the points that I make about our women in our community? Okay,
so I got some data that I want you to look at that kind of delves into, and you could extrapolate like I did or had to in terms of the condition.
Give me the data. Give me the data.
Okay. So the first, piece I want to look at is the mental health statistics in our community, especially since it's apropos my central argument, which is, the mental status of the individuals in our community and how they're ripe for the lowering of their self-esteem by, vicious commentary. And you also say yourself, you're the hardest hitting content online, and that hard hitting content has consequences. So serious psychological distress in the Black community. Okay. Serious psychological distress. Black adults, and this is men and women, these CDC, some CDC statistics and census statistics, but Black adults, 11.4% of Black people are dealing with serious psychological distress. Serious. Okay, so that's 11.4%. And major depressive episodes, major depression. Black adults, 6.5% of Black adults are dealing with major depressive episodes. Unaliving rates, okay? Black males specifically, 13.1 per 100,000, okay, are dealing with unaliving rates. And Black women, check this out, okay, 2.9 per 100,000. So Black men are unaliving themselves almost, 5 times as much as women in our community.
Okay, why do you think that? Okay, what's your
treat-
point? What's your point about that?
Well, the point I'm making is when you're addressing the Black community the way you do, it's the approach and the delivery and then the parody that can sit atop those major psychological concerns. And if you read Naeem Akbar's text, breaking the psychological chains in the Black community, you'll see that these concerns or these issues exacerbates the already problematic relationship we have with the system we're under. So instead of what guys like you do, you're like Du Bois. Du Bois, you're taking the talented 10th out of the community, and then the rest of the people in the community, you're totally going at their security level through this content. You have I looked at your Instagram, bro. 117,000 followers.
We're not talking about my following. We're not here to talk about my following.
But the reason I bring it up and why it's important in this conversation is because your voice is touching the Black community in a way that is similar to what Kevin Samuels did. And if you notice, the average woman that engages you say pretty much the same thing, constant attacks, constant vitriol, and that in itself is having it's having a socially underdeveloped. So
you're saying that my content is negatively affecting the mental health of Black community?
It is sinking the mental health in the Black community.
Okay, do you have any proof of that? Besides the women complaining?
Well, listen, bro, the data that I just gave you, if you couple that data with your anecdotal, with all of what you offered is anecdotal experience or anecdotal, points that strengthen my argument in terms of the effect you're having on the community, because those women say it. What they're saying, they don't just, you think you could,
okay, so you have no proof. You have no evidence that
the proof is in my notes in terms of.
No, I don't want to hear about your notes. I want to. Do you have? Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
I got these time stamped.
Wait a second. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
Okay, good.
Do you have any direct data? Okay, you're muted right now for a reason. Do you have, listen to the question while you're talking, because we both can't talk. Do you have any direct data from women or men about how my content has negatively affected the Black community? Yes or no, as far as mental health goes? Do you have any data? Unmute yourself and give us the data.
Okay, so of the 50 videos that I watched of your content, of the 50 videos where women were concerned, 100% of those women, 50 videos, 100% of those women were hostile. 100% of those women attacked back. 100% of those women were visibly perturbed when you laughed at them.
Okay, you said they were hostile, right?
Well, hostile from within the context of what the grace our women have, especially the ones that actually liked you. Like some of those women came up there because they were seeking maybe validation or attention from the guru. you knew you flirt with women. You flirted with half of those women in some of those videos, and as you flirt with those women, you belittle them for showing you affection, or they get into that lust place. 160-year-old woman, oh my God, poor woman. You tore into her. And then you sat there and you baited her and you said, well, why are you looking at me like this? And that woman was 60 years old. And then you said, oh, you know what? You are too old for me. And then you clicked and cut her off. I could just imagine that woman, that 60-year-old woman, probably got her a bottle and probably got her some candy and probably took herself out that night because the guru told her she was not attractive and she should stay in her lane.
So you have no data. You have no, what you did.
But that is data. I said 50 videos I watched, and I looked at those women and I took the notes down specifically so we can go through each one of these so I could share with you.
You took notes on 50.
And I could share with you how those women felt.
Hold on a second. You took notes on 50 of my videos?
Oh, I was looking at more than that, but the 50 that I took notes on and I wrote down specifics in terms of what was said,
hold on a second.
How you broke them down, how they felt, and the psychological damage you left.
Were there any videos that you watched of women that were grateful for the advice that I gave them?
No.
Really?
100% of the videos shows an antagonistic relationship set up in that moment, and then the emotion, and then the isolation. These are classic examples of narcissistic behavior. Would you like me to go through the 11 common traits of abuse? And then I can also go over the traits of a narcissist. And by looking at that and then coupling them with those 50 videos, along with the data on the psychological problems in the Black community, yes, the argument can be made that your content, mind you, the hardest hitting content, you know what you're doing. You got the hardest hitting content. Your content is harder hitting than Kevin Samuels. And you see,
hold on a second. Hold on.
Women
let me ask you
Kevin
a question.
Samuels.
If my content was so damaging and negatively affecting the mental state of the Black community, why would I have a following at all? Let me ask you.
Because we are sadomasochistic, especially women. Oh. Women are the most sadomasochistic, especially Black women. Are you kidding me? They love punishment by men like you. You said it yourself. Babe, you still want me. You said it to one woman. Listen, I just dogged you out a year ago and you're still back here. You said that. So it's not like you don't know your effect. You do know your effect, just like Kevin Samuels.
So they like the abuse, is what you're saying.
Oh my God! Listen, bro, I'm a Pookie.
You're saying, hold on. What remember, you're saying?
I'm a Pookie Ray.
Be quiet for a minute. Be quiet for a minute. What you're saying, so everybody has it clear, is that the women in the Black, they like the abuse. They like toxicity and drama and abuse. That's what you're saying. That's why they keep coming back.
I'm saying they're conditioned that way because of the systematic oppression that our people have had to deal with. Now, you being a scholar should know that.
Okay, hold on one second. So you talked about, because you mentioned something. So if you're going to agree with that, you just were about to say, Guru, I'm a Pookie. I was a Pookie. Okay, so if you were the Pookie in the community, did you mentally destroy some of the women in the community and cause them to have mental pain and punishment? Did you do that while you were in your Pookie days?
When I was in my Pookie days, I was definitely tearing down the Black community.
Okay, and would that include single moms?
That would include single moms.
Okay, so you're coming at me because basically it sounds like what you're saying is you know the game. You know how the game is played on women in the community. You've already played it. As a matter of fact, you played on all these women. You abused them. You mentally destroyed them. So game, you're saying, you're calling what I'm doing game. Game is recognizing game. So how does that make you? Hold on a second. You're here trying to correct me and talk about how much damage I'm doing, when in fact, you're only up here, which sounds like to me, because you're recognizing the pattern because you did it. So how can you correct me when you did the same thing that you're accusing me of?
Well, you got to know what I'm saying and how I'm analyzing. You got to know more. You got to have more information so you understand what happened. But I got married at 19 years old, and for
I don't want to hear about your
40
life story. I just want
well,
you
the
to
reason,
answer
well,
why. I want you to focus on the fact that you're telling me I'm doing all of this stuff to the community, but you were a hellhound in the community, destroying women, including single mothers.
okay, if that's how you're gonna play it, then I would have to say each individual that I dealt with, I enhanced their lives by the time we were done, and those
Really?
women actually were already, in
Well,
many cases, toxic.
shouldn't they have wanted to stay with you though?
Oh, not at all. One
Why
woman
would they
had
leave if you enhanced their lives and made them better women? Why would they want to leave the relationship or break it off?
because as a teacher, I had a certain level of status in the community.
Wait. You had a status level as a teacher of IEP students, special ed.
Well, I definitely taught special ed.
Okay, so what status did you get in the community by black women by teaching special ed students?
Well, in my community, because the poverty rate, is almost at 50% in the community. We have a
I
lot
just
of
want to know what status did they give you?
well, a teacher in the community is a reputable role in the community. So when you're meeting women who are struggling and they're giving you energy, especially when you're already addicted to schmecks, the issue becomes exacerbated when women are engaging you. And each woman I dealt with qualitatively. So in dealing with them qualitatively, one particular woman was on welfare. And by the time our relationship ended, she was back in school and, working at
So
New Jersey Transit.
listen, folks, what he's saying about our women in the community. They actually were attracted to him, what he's trying to say, and they gave him their private part because he was teaching special ed. This is what because he said the women love the status, they love these kind of men. As a special ed teacher, they elevated him to giving up their private part. That's what you're telling us.
What I'm telling you is that when I
No, that's
went
what you're
and
telling.
liberated,
You're telling us that they gave it up to you because you had a special ed teaching qualification. That was your status.
no, you're spin. You're the spin doctor. I
No, I'm
forgot you're
not the
like
spin
Bill
doctor. I'm
O'Reilly.
telling the truth.
Oh no, that's the spin, bro. Because when I went through my mental liberation, okay, and that's why Naeem Akbar's text was so important to me in that transformation. I transformed that behavior, and that's why I
Okay,
said,
Black Eagle. You transform your. How are you any better than me then, from what you're claiming? Because you've done
I
all
didn't
these
say I
things.
was better than you at
Oh,
all.
so you're not. So you're the same.
Not at all.
You're the same as me.
Hey, brother,
You said I've been destroying the community and doing all this mental health damage. So you're the same. You're not better than me. That means you're the same, or are you worse? Which one?
No, bro. Don't. It's not that simple. And I understand you deal with things simple, but the point I'm
Black
making
Eagle, are
is
you better than me, the same, or
no.
worse?
I'm not
Okay,
better
you're
than
not
you at
better. Are
all.
you the same or worse?
No, I wouldn't say we're the same. I wouldn't say I'm worse. I would say listen, bro. At the end of the day, I think you have a standard that is amazing to deliver to the next generation of Black children. The issue I have is your lack of empathy and the narcissistic tendencies that lead you to doing enhanced psychological damage that deepens in deep insecurity issues. All I'm trying to get you to do is tweak that and have more empathy to the community in terms of our historical record. Because if you add that piece in, God knows where you're going to take us.
Okay, hold on a second, Black Eagle. What we're gonna do, because I'm gonna run this a little bit different. What we're gonna do is take a little quick break, and I'll bring up some. Yes, I don't know if they're gonna be on your side or my side. We'll see what they say.
I
And
like that.
I'll let them ask some questions and say some things since we're having a debate. and see what they have to say about what's going on. Maybe they might have some questions for you.
That's
Folks,
cool. Can I play my favorite song while we on this break?
Hold on a second. The one, apology to the black woman, because that's the one they need to hear.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Apology to the black woman.
So hold on a second, folks. I need y'all to tap up the screen. Let him play. He wants to play his song. This is him apologizing to the black woman. I want y'all to hear his music, right? Because in his opinion, I'm anti BW, right? Wouldn't you call me that? I'm anti black woman.
Absolutely. Okay. I think it's not anti.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. I need the folks to tap up the screen while he's doing that and get the like count up to 50,000 at least. And he wants to play his pro black woman song. Turn it up.
That's the loudest it goes.
Okay.
Her face launched 1,000 ships. Holding this way, a baby girl hips. Taste the lemon on her lips. Dark skinned mommy full of clips. Loser, rather face the apocalypse. For the black queen, the brave heart ticks. No matter what I'm going through, when I think about getting home, my spirit lifts. Instantly, the earth shifts. Holding a long stare. Look at baby girl hair. Can no other compare. She my own personal world affair. Tender love and care. Fuck I do, I swear. So free, got me walking on air. A romance connoisseur. She smile, it's like setting off a flare. Like the unicorn shorty rare. Her love make you stand perpendicular to the square. My life, she the sole heir.
Okay, that's enough. They heard enough. Okay, let's get the people up here so they can talk to you. They heard enough. They heard enough. Folks, that was his message to the black woman, his apology. What were you apologizing for in that song again?
Well, I was, taking on, the burden that the black man has levied on the black woman, specifically the last 2 decades. But I wanted black women to know that, we see you now. We're sorry for the mess that we created in the community. And now we're going to do whatever we can do in this life to set the record straight. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, quick thing. We're going to rifle through these guests really quickly. See what they have to say. I'm bringing up one at a time and see what they have to say about what's going on in this debate. And you, go ahead, Black Raven. Let's hear what you got.
So, you have any source or any proof that he is down in the black community?
Well, what I have is 50 videos of gurus where the guest, whether male or female, left the moment more agitated, full of more anxiety, and more stress, which connected to the psychological issues that are plaguing the black community.
So he has no data.
I have 50 videos.
All right.
Yes.
So you also voted for Trump?
Absolutely, yes.
So you have no, okay.
Yeah.
You have no place to say nothing.
All right, but I'm on a podcast, but you can still do it. No, you can still do it though. I got a nurse, so she getting ready to do my vitals. So
go ahead and check that out. I think that's more important than getting on his page and talking to this man.
Well, I appreciate you, Black Raven. Thank you for coming.
Right,
do you have one more thing to say before we go to
that's
next?
pretty much it. I just can't believe he voted for Trump and he didn't want to say all this. But
wait a minute. But let me talk about that before you go running off. Oh, never mind.
No.
Hey, Guru, go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Okay.
Bring your next guest up.
Okay. Folks, I need y'all to get my like count up. Appreciate y'all for doing that. Thank you to everybody that has donated and contributed to helping us reach our goals.
I guess you would say she's on your side.
Hold on
a debate,
second. Bro. Our gift goals. Appreciate y'all for doing that as well. If you're new in here right now, this is a debate. This guy right here doesn't like the way that I speak about the black community and the black woman. So he's here to challenge me. This was he wanted this time. He wanted to debate me one-on-one, right? Uninterrupted. So
well, you are the new Kevin Samuels,
hold on. Let me explain to the people. So I'm giving him his time to come at me. He said he had all these notes and all this data and statistics that he could present, but I haven't heard much data. I just heard him say he went through my videos and this
50. And listen,
and he has this
I don't
from
see
my
how
video.
that's not considered data.
The only other data that we heard was he talked about the mental health issues in the black community.
Well, that's our biggest issue, though, bro.
Okay, let's go to the next. Let's see what we'll do this, and then I want you to prepare so you can say what your next point to me is after these guys. Go ahead.
So I guess my question would be, what's going on? Thanks for having me up, Black. I'm almost lost for words, my guy. Black Eagle, like, so you said you have a few videos based off of
50 videos. Do you know how most surveys are done? Wait a minute. Do you know how a survey is done? Do you realize most of these
did you survey hold on a second, Black Eagle, did you survey any women that I've dealt with and get their opinion on me and see how I've damaged their mental health? Did you survey any of these women?
Well, you know, when you're a scholar, you present. I laid out an argument for you that was valid.
Okay. So I think the first thing that we need to talk about is any type of survey in the first place can be skewed, and we can skew that information based off of whatever point that we're trying to prove, right? So, Black, if you're sitting and saying that you're basing off of 50 videos, I'd still need more data from that aspect as well.
But hold on, 50 videos where he self-proclaimed hardest hitting online.
Okay, so I think the first thing is that.
Do you know how these people talk on like TikTok?
Okay.
Because if you know how these people talk on TikTok, you know for him to be the hardest hitting, oh my God. That doesn't disturb you?
I think the first thing we need to look at is accountability, right? So if it doesn't check the box, if it doesn't fit within your space, then keep it moving, right? So
you can't deal with the black community like that, bro.
Okay. So the best way to deal with a community is one community at a time, right? So the community that's in your backyard,
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Did you not read the Moynihan report?
Okay.
Did you read the Moynihan report? Yes or no?
No, I haven't. Can you provide?
So then you don't understand the crisis in the black family, bro. And neither does Guru.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
You don't understand the damage in the black community, the absent father rate, and how it affects the self-esteem of the community. And then you have the hardest hitting man online waving that big Nathan Nagin's bat around. Come on.
I find that interesting. Actually,
all right, brother. So do me a favor, get one last point out so we can keep it moving. And go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, Black. One, and I think that's one of our biggest issues, right? And I'm going to land it with this. The biggest thing is, like, before we actively listen, we already have a rebuttal. So if you allowed me to finish, Black, I may not have read a report. However, I do work actively in my community, specifically for my job within.
Yeah, but doing what? What's the job? And since you're bringing it up,
what the job is? We're talking about everything from water.
Wow, is that not a red flag? Are you unemployed? Is he unemployed, Google? This is your guy.
Water, sanitation, and hygiene, and also in developing countries. So this is global. I'm not just talking about something in the backyard.
So then you're not dealing with the black community in America.
Okay. Black communities across the globe.
Oh my God. We're talking about gurus, talking about the black woman in America. He wants black men in America to leave black women and go across where you at.
So again, we speak about what's in our backyard.
All right, you're biased, bro. I can tell you're biased.
No, actually, I look at both sides of it. No,
but I think you're biased though. You came up here giving shout outs to Black Guru. You didn't say, fellas, welcome. Thank you for giving this to me. You didn't do any of that. You showed your bias already, just like the last woman.
When you walk into anyone's house,
you speak to everyone, bro.
And then I came and I addressed you as well.
Bro, no, you didn't. You gave me the impression that Guru was your guy, and I'm on his space. Remember, Guru has like 117,000 followers,
So,
and guess what?
All right,
He
brother,
only
we're not gonna
follows
get
8
nowhere else with
people.
him. We're not gonna
Yeah,
get nowhere
That
else with him.
shows you. That shows you the influence he
Okay,
has
all
on
right.
black people.
Black Eagle. Thanks for listening to my perspective. Black Guru, thanks for having me on.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, bro, you
Appreciate
don't get in your feelings. You see how he ran, bro? He ran in his
He didn't
feelings. That's
run.
what
He
you
didn't
do.
run. I want to keep
He ran, bro. And
I
he
want to
wanted me
keep the
know he
show
was running.
going. He didn't run.
Hey, bro, it's all right. You're going to stand up for your people
relax,
anyway. But
relax,
listen,
because
Guru,
I have something for you actually, because we know you don't have data that you put together. I'll put together.
but that was data. Look, I can go through all
Black
50
Eagle,
of these videos,
Black
bro.
Eagle, you're gonna be quiet while I'm speaking.
All right, I'm going to mute up, bro. I don't want you to get upset.
Okay. I need everybody right now to do me a favor. Thanks for helping us hit the goal of 50K. Let's keep going to 75K likes is the next goal. Tap this side of the screen until you cannot tap it anymore. Also appreciate you. Let's go ahead and finish the gift goal for now. Let's finish the gift goal up for now. Thank you guys in advance. Black Eagle, I want you to listen to this. Just listen to this. I want you to just listen to these numbers. This was a poll done in 2011 by the Washington Post Kaiser Family Foundation. These are black people's responses, men and women. Are you listening? Okay, I want you to listen carefully to what I say right now. This is ranked in terms of importance. Black men believe it was more important than black women to have children. Black men believed it was much more important to be in a good romantic relationship than black women. Black men thought it was more important to care for an aging family member than black women. Black women thought it was way more important for them to have free time to do whatever they wanted. I have it right here in this book. It's called Black Stats. I told you about it. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I want you to respond to that.
Well, I think that, like we just established, statistics can be manipulated or maneuvered to fit.
This is a poll simply done by black men and black women and ranked in terms of importance. Our women,
okay, so our
men valued family and good relationships much more than the women, and the women valued and wanted their free time to do whatever they wanted to do. This was done in 2011.
I understand that, but what I'm going to say to that is, if you're thinking in 2025 we have that same condition today, you'd be wrong, because the condition we're dealing with is was more established in Huey Newton's Fear and Doubt, where he captured the issues of the black man. And one of the problems with the black man is that they're oppressed economically. And because they're oppressed economically, many black men remain in the community while their women go to work. Now, these women that go to work and they have exploded in terms of college acceptance and acquisition of degrees.
Okay, that has nothing to do with this. This is simply talking about the importance.
They work hard,
hold on.
So they play hard, bro.
This is talking about the importance of family and relationship versus free time to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm challenging that poll. I'm challenging your conclusion.
Because you believe, hold on a second, because you believe that the women are working so hard that they want to play hard. That's what you're saying?
I am saying that women are outclassing black men in terms of level of employment. And the level of employment goes up as.
And what kind of jobs are they mostly working at? What kind of jobs do a majority of black women? What are they working?
They dominate education. They dominate the social sciences, social worker, psychologists. So they dominate.
They are mostly
softer...
working lower wage, non-physical positions. That's what they're doing.
Okay, so if you caricaturize it like that, they're also raising the children at the same time.
No. We're dealing with one thing at a time. You talked about how much they're working. They are working lower wage, non-physical positions like customer service, CNA. They're working in call centers. A lot of them call centers, fast food jobs. Okay, these are not very physically demanding jobs. They're not.
Okay, but we don't even
want to talk about the ones that work in bars and restaurants, and because we don't even want to go there.
Yeah, but you're trying to say that Black men today or in 2011 had a more family-oriented or family-centered mindset, whereas Black women wanted to play and leisure. That's what you're saying.
No, that's what this poll says. And furthermore, Black Eagle, let me tell you something. Even if we look at the jobs, right? Jobs of importance. In terms of lawyers, what percentage of lawyers do you think are Black?
I would say a low percentage. I don't know offhand.
What would you guess? What would you guess?
I would say the percentage of lawyers in the country that are Black, I would say I would put it at 10% or lower.
Okay, 3%.
I was being generous then.
And guess what? 10% of nurses used to be Black. That has gone down in the last 10 years.
Well, nursing has been affected.
Do you hear what I just said? Now
yes.
we're having nurses, as far as registered nurses, we're talking 6%. 6%. So less are working in fields like nursing. I don't know why our women especially are not working in nursing. Less are working. You said teaching. No, they're not. As a matter of fact, you can look at, there are states that have put out programs to try to get more Blacks into teaching and education fields. Because there are not enough Black folk in education and teaching fields. There's not enough.
Well, I can say this. Where Black people are concerned in America, I believe that when you look at us on a whole, yes, we're fractured. Malcolm X said you can't take a knife out of a man's back halfway and call it progress. You got to take the knife all the way out of his back.
Stop saying that word. But
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. You keep blaming the progress on what? The system? White people? Who are you blaming this progress
on? We're dealing with a systematic oppression.
Really?
Yes.
In 2025?
2025, absolutely. Probably more so than...
So you're saying that's what's causing the women to behave the way they're behaving is because of systematic oppression?
Absolutely.
That's causing them to not want to take care of their children. That's causing them to do debaucherous behavior. That's causing them to be more out in the streets. That's causing them to... Hold on a second. Let me finish. They want to be more free than ever. They want to be more loose and wild, especially with their body than ever. There are more contraception than ever before. Mm-hmm. I know all these numbers. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that oppression makes them want to take more contraception than ever before?
And if you can connect with what I'm saying, you're going to be a stronger leader in the Black community.
Much less of them want to be married than before.
Yeah.
And you hear them even online. They'll say, a lot of them will say that we don't all want to be married. We don't want to be married. They'll tell you that. They don't want to be married. They don't want marriage like they used to.
I know, because they're listening to guys like you and they're tired of the pookies.
No, because I promote marriage, but you're mad because I promote men to not deal with BWs.
Wait a minute, what makes you think I'm mad?
because you want me to promote our men dealing with BWs. See, here's the thing. I get brothers. Listen, I get brothers that try to say, you know, sometimes they'll try to compare me with Kevin, but then they'll actually listen to what I'm saying and they'll say, oh, no, he's not like Kevin because Kevin wanted the black family to thrive. Kevin promoted black love and black marriages. I don't promote BLK love and marriages.
Can you tell me why?
I promote our men going to where they can find good quality, honest women that they can start families with and marry. I don't promote tourism. I don't promote them just going out and doing whatever they want to do with their private. I promote them going and finding really good women that want to be wives.
All right, can I say this? One of your videos that really disturbed me? And it's apropos.
No, I want you. You can address what I just said about.
It is addressing
about the promotion of.
It is addressing
black
what you
men
said.
Going where they can find good wives.
It is promoting what you said. What you said. Listen, in this video, you were talking to a YT woman, and you were listening to her describe for you her, you know, focus on wanting to protect her marriage, and she was saying some wonderful things about being married, and then you cross juxtapose that video with a ratchet black woman, you know, rapping like she was Smexy Red, and then wait a minute, she rapping like
what did she say in the video? What did she say? I know
she was like, I'm about to let him fill me up, and I'm gonna take a plan B.
Yes,
and then
she talked about. Yeah, she talked about
all them twerking.
Hold on a second. Say it again. She wanted a man to fill her up.
She said she wanted a man to fill her up, and then she was going to take a plan B. Right?
And this was a BW saying that?
This was a BW saying that.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And then, she was completely ratchet, bro. And when I say, what was problematic is that your caption read, why black men should seek other places to find a wife or to find marriage.
Yes.
So you were promoting black men to go after YT women. Subconsciously in that video.
No. I don't ever just tell black men, just go for YT women. That is not true. I tell them to go, I tell them to go wherever they can find good women. So if they come across a good BW from a good family in the United States, I will say marry her. But if they can't, I don't tell them to waste time trying to search, because there are not many in our community that are decent. Most of them are ratchet, toxic. They're on demon time. They have despicable behavior. They don't have fathers in their life, or if they do, they don't listen to their fathers. They do whatever the hell they want to do. Didn't you just see me read the survey? The most important thing for them is to have free time to do whatever they want to do.
I know that's your point of view, and what I'm saying to you is there's a reason. And it's a commonsensical reason.
I don't care what the reason is. I'm saying avoid. Listen. These women are not saying. Listen. When these women say these men are out here DL, they're not worried about trying to figure out why the men are DL or whatever. They're just saying we got to leave these DL men alone because they're messing up the community. So what's wrong with me saying, leave these women in our community alone? I don't care what they went through. I don't care if they had a father, no father. I don't care. I'm not interested in learning no more about their background or none of that. I'm saying just avoid them totally, because there's too many of them that are toxic. Right? Most of them don't have nothing to say about bad behavior. They promote it. When they see bad behavior and a man like me points it out, you know what they say? Caucasian women do it too. Other women do it too. They don't like to point and say, hey, this is wrong. Our women shouldn't be doing that. They immediately like to go to point out other races. That's what they do.
Because of our women lack accountability.
Okay. So I'm telling men of color to avoid that. Leave them alone.
And what I'm saying to you is, and I'm being sincere about this, and I'm glad you came, I'm honored that you gave me the opportunity to engage you on your platform. So thank you. Let me just say that.
Yeah, you're
I probably
welcome.
should have said that at the beginning, but I do come in like ready to rock. But I do thank you, Guru, and I want to give you flowers, bro. And I wanted this opportunity to give you flowers in front of the entire community. I love your work, bro. Love your work. I love Kevin Samuel's work. But listen. I love your work. So if I had to say pros and cons, and if the pros stack up more than the cons, then I could say, listen, yes, he is. It's great content. But listen, here's the problem. Your rigidity, it leads you to points of view where you can say to black men, in spite of the damage that the lead, see, the black man is the head, the lead. You hit the head, it hits the body. Most black women, bro, most black women, when they give their bodies to a black man for the first time, in their mind, that's it for them. But what ends up happening is that black man breaks their spirit and he creates the monster that a lot of them become. So now we're dealing with cause and effect. So now when that woman is on this revenge tip and she's scorned, H-E double hockey stick hath no fury when she's scorned. And these black men are scorning all throughout the community. So now that broken woman becomes the monster in the community. So that monster is being created by us. And then they become better, the best monster. So that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a created monster, but you let the man get away with it. And not only do you let the man get away with it, but you praise them and tell them to leave. Every black man not like you, bro.
Well, hold on a second.
A very small minority of black men have their sugar honey iced tea together like you.
You just, to make sure we know this, you just call women of color monsters?
The broken black woman is a monster.
Huh, okay. How many of them are broken?
The broken
How
black
many of them are
woman?
broken?
Oh, I would say, to be honest,
what percentage?
The vast majority.
Vast majority. Okay. So then I want everybody to listen to what he's saying. This man is supposed to be the antithesis, the nemesis of Black Guru. He's supposed to go against everything that I say. Now he's saying that the vast majority of BWs are monsters. His words,
created. Throw the adjective in there. Created monsters. So what you're dealing, and some of them have been scorned so deeply that, oh my God, it's very difficult for them to come out of that. But that's why I say to you, bro, your message, I love the fact that you have the highest of standards. And that's what I love about you the most. You got high standards. That's why I listen to you, bro. I listen because you have high standards. Kevin Samuels had high standards. I love that man. Anytime I was feeling depressed or angry, I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime, I would literally go to a Kevin Samuels video and it would boost my spirit. Because a lot of times I was getting torn into by a woman that I fell in love with. And next thing you know, I'm feeling like the scum of the earth because I'm dealing with that ratchet head on. I've dealt with that ratchet head on many times.
So what you're doing now is you're proving that you actually like and agree with my content, and you believe that your women that look like you have done you really wrong and bad, and you went searching for content to make you feel better, like Kevin said. That's what you did. Is that what you're saying?
During that whole period of time when I found and discovered Kevin Samuels, my voice was not as strong as Kevin Samuels where women were concerned. And what he did for me is he gave me strength to say, you know what, I'm not going to take that from you anymore. He gave me that strength to do that because I didn't have that strength before. So yes, I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay, so what is the problem that you have with me telling men to avoid and leave the BW alone?
Okay, the problem I have is the
Because you just said
analysis.
that you were empowered to say, I don't have to take this from a BW, and you left.
No, it's not that simply put. What happened was when I was not, when my voice didn't have, I came up in the 90s, bro. And in the 90s,
All right,
women
folks, hold on a
dominated.
second. We're going to hear a ramble about how he came up. We don't need to focus on that right
No,
now.
I'm saying
Wait a minute.
dominated.
Intermission. I need everybody to do me a favor right now. Tap this side of the screen. We need to get the like count up to 100,000. Thank you guys for helping us hit the goal. I'm going to put a new goal up there for gifts. If you are enjoying this conversation and have something to say to me, Black Eagle, you can request up. I'm taking a quick intermission, and I'll take a few guests. We're going to just make it short and sweet right now. There's not going to be a big open panel. I just want, if anybody has anything to say, especially to Black Eagle about his points or to me about the points that I've made, you can request up and I will let you come up and ask those questions or make your comment. Thank you for tapping the screen and helping us get the like count up, folks. Black Eagle, I need you to
You know this
respect.
guy made a
I need
video
you to
about me.
respect the people up here. Let them finish their point, and then you can state whatever you want to state back. So, all right, go ahead, Bamo.
Yeah, Black Eagle. What's the number between 2 and 4?
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
I said, what is the number between 2 and 4?
3.
All right, thank you. Yo, Black Eagle, real quick, man. I'm confused here because first you was against Black Guru and his stance against the black woman. Now you're saying that your whole position about Black Guru, you agree with him about the black woman. And then you said they are actually monsters. So what is your preference then? If you're noticing that the BW is monsters, what is your preference?
My preference is to handle and deal with the biggest monster in the Black community and marry her and get her in alignment.
You mean, hold on, because we also have in our community the trans.
No, I already have my eyes
You
set on
reference
the
about
woman.
like getting with trans or something?
No, I have my eyes set on the woman. She don't have any interest in me now. You know what I'm saying? But over time, I do believe that.
We're not talking about a particular woman. I'm talking about the solution for the black community now. So
Well,
if you recognize that, hold on, if you recognize that the black woman is or the BW is a monster, then how are we gonna procreate in this community of ours?
Okay, I'm gonna explain that.
Monster,
I'm gonna explain that. I got you, big brother. What has to happen is we need a new talented 10. And I think Guru, brothers cut from his cloth. You as well, Bam. Well, I don't know about you, Bam. I just learned some stuff about you, about your baby mama. But anyway, but this brother Guru, and I'm only saying that because any man, a black man who has the cojones to be the hardest hitting content online. I did understand that about Kevin. Kevin said, he said, when men went at him and told him to change his content to make his content softer, Kevin said,
my question. Get to the question I asked.
All right, we need brothers like Guru to set a new talented 10th. Now, what that means is he's going to find brothers in our community that are high value. And when I say high value, I mean because I think you're more high value than Kevin was, because there's a spiritual center to you.
Brothers, okay, decent brothers. I filled in the word.
So he get all of the decent brothers together and create safe spaces with women, marriageable women who are ready for marriage. And you start linking those up I got a friend of mine, really good friend of mine who wrestled with
Give it to
me.
your friend.
No, because he's doing this.
No. Give it to your friend.
He's doing what I'm telling you, bro. So
I hate you. Hold on. Don't get into your friend. You'll get into a whole different story. You ain't got time for it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, Guru.
I haven't. Hold on. So you said that we get with the women who are decent. How do we know if they're decent or not? Like, if our women are monsters, you said get with the decent women. How do we know they're decent? Like, to be a decent woman, that means they have to have some training on how to be wives, mothers. We don't have that in our community.
We do. We do. You just gotta find them, bro.
Where?
All right, let me try to talk.
Where? Because the last time I talked to you, you told me about some white tea women.
No, I fell in love once with a white tea woman that third time. But listen, bro, I'm not talking about.
So, hold on. So you recognize that our women are a monster, and you fell in love with a white tea woman.
Come on, bro. You're missing something.
But these are your words, not mine.
I said broken women, and the vast majority. The vast majority
our women, they're monsters.
Are broken. Yes, but I also said there's a small minority, though, that are cut from the cloth of Coretta Scott, who are preserving themselves for marriage. A lot of those women, you say, where are they? You say, where are they?
Hold on, but hold on. So you recognize that our woman got an issue. You find a white tea woman named Cass, right? I heard somebody say her name is Cass. So you thought Cass will make a better wife.
No, that's not how that happened, bro.
Hold on, because our woman wasn't cutting it.
No, that's not how that happened.
No, that means you was done with the BW yourself.
No, I was not. Yo, you can't listen. You
was lusting. Hold on. Was you lusting?
No.
Was you a pookie when you was dealing with that white tea woman?
No, I was in a different state of mind where I was interested in marriage before anything.
You didn't consider the BW because you knew they was a monster. That's why you considered the white tea woman. You're a fraud. You're a fraud. You ain't for the black woman. You're a fraud.
That was your goal, so you had an agenda. That's okay.
In my camp. You need to stop fronting.
That's okay, but
if you in my camp, stop fronting. I'm a yield. I'm a go guru. This dude is in my camp. He's fronting.
All right.
Hey, Bamo, hold up. Look. Salute.
All right, so Black Eagle, hold on one second. Let me see if you desire to say some words to myself or Black Eagle, especially since he's the one that wanted to debate me. And he had all these things to say about how he don't like the way that I have written off the community, have written off the black woman, right? So I challenge you and encourage you to come up and speak your piece, especially if you have something to say, like I said, to me or Black Eagle. Eagle, we've been dealing with these points, right? I want to deal with one more thing before we bring up the next person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to deal with health, because you brought up mental health. I want to deal with physical health.
Yes.
You know that on average, our women outlive our men by 7 years. Did you know that?
Yes. I know that.
Okay. Do you know that the top cause of being unalive for our men is also the same for our women?
Obesity.
Heart disease.
Which, from obesity.
Okay. But do you know one huge cause of heart disease also is from stress and chronic stress?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want you to understand and think about that, because our men, and we don't have the huge rate of obesity like our women do. We're not right there with them as far as being on the same field or same plane. A lot more of us are in shape, but at the same time, we're not living as long. We're still going through a lot of stress, overeating, poor dieting. A lot of that starts in the home with our mothers. A lot of that starts with our mothers. And then when you look at what home cooked meals are being cooked in a community by our women, what healthy meals are being cooked, well, there's not many because family structure is broken. So the men that are coming around they're not eating healthy, good food. They're eating junk food, snack food, fast food. That's how they're eating. And over time, that's going to contribute to you not living a long life as a man. That's something you should consider. It's very, very critical who you choose as your wife, your woman, the woman you have children with. You know this for that reason. Stress alone in our community, from going through child support system, going through it with problematic women, that can take a man out. Just that stress alone. We're seeing higher increases. I just saw a case the other day. 15-year-old boy. This should not happen. 15-year-old juvenile black male took out allegedly his girlfriend around the same age. Took her out. Stress. Stress and relationship problems. Fighting, arguments. 15? What are you arguing about at 15 years old with a young black girl that makes you not want her around anymore? You're just like, hey, I don't care. I'm going to give up my life and take hers because she's stressing me out too much. What? That's insane. Huh? Why are you smiling?
Absolutely.
That should not be happening.
I agree that shouldn't be happening. I'm saying I agree with you. But what I will also say is this.
You've admitted yourself that you were highly stressed out by black women that you've been in relationships with or been married to. You've admitted.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's a problem. So I don't know why you have a problem then with me telling our men to go find women that are not going to stress them out, that will put them at peace. You know, I have brothers that tell me, Guru, I finally traveled. My goodness, I was at so much peace. I finally got to the United States. I finally was able to get to such and such country. And man, it's so much more peaceful over here. The people are nice. The women are nice. They're pleasant. Average one of our women is bitter, angry. Average one of our women is nasty. Don't want you to speak to them. And I was coming up, it wasn't like that. And you know the same thing for yourself. I can remember so many times my grandma used to take me around to a lot of different places. Especially, she was a church woman. And I can remember how much more pleasant the women were. Smiling and happy. I'm not talking about just towards me, towards men, period. You know, when you were coming up, how often did you hear a BW calling a black man the N-word?
A lot.
No, they didn't. They didn't say that back in the day.
A lot.
No, they
not
didn't.
Back in the day. I'm talking about today.
Yeah, today, yes, today is bad. But back in the day, they didn't call black men the N-word, every other word. Ninja, shut the... And even when they argued, they may just use some bad language at times, but they weren't calling them all kind of ninjas and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Emasculating them. You got so many of our women today that are quick to emasculate a man and call him gay and sassy and his PP is little and all kind of stuff. They do that because they want to completely go for the jugular. And then those same women will complain and say, look at how the men are unaliving more women today. Our women are not pleasant. They're not pleasant to be around. You would agree that's going to make a man, because we know that even from a young age, right? When children in school, you were a teacher. When children are in school, what happens? When they're talked about and said all these things for a long period of time, sometimes they lash out and go crazy. Increase of school violence because of that. Huge increase from when we were coming up. Huge increase in school violence because of the lashing out, the constant criticism, the BS that's being spoken on a day in and day out basis. That's what's happening in our community. Nasty, vile words spoken by our women to the men. But we're also seeing a lot more women be violent. Have you looked at the prison rates? Recent prison rates? they are drastically increasing for our women and all women as a whole.
It's disturbing.
Yeah. So our women are becoming more violent.
Yes.
So what are
It's
you
the
talking about? So
dialectic.
you really have no argument from what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is that continuing to be in these relationships with our women and deal with them on this level is not going to lead to anything successful. They have to make drastic changes to their behavior, to their attitude, to stop liking and being addicted to toxic, evil, demonic things. They despise religion. They don't want to be told what to do. 2011, the stats have told us that they want to just have a whole bunch of free time and they don't care that much about family. What has a woman done to you? Servant, whatever. All right, let's see what this brother has to say.
Esau.
Y'all gotta be ready to come up when I pull you up. Okay.
Yo, hey, yeah, Eagle, I'm a little confused myself because at first you was saying basically the same thing you saying to him is what I heard you say in another location. The same thing you complaining to him about is the same thing that I heard you saying, that we need to stop messing with the black women. They're manipulating. They're this. They're that.
I never said that. What I say is
You did.
this. Well, okay, let me tell you what I believe. Okay, I believe that our community is in crisis. It's in chaos.
But that's not what you.
But let me finish.
My fault.
But let me give you what I believe. So I don't want to go back and waste time trying to, defend something I don't know what you're referring to. So what I will say is this: my position. Okay, when I hear Guru talk, and he has this, Shangri-La perspective on how we should be moving, right? What I'm saying to him is, like, my man, one of my guys, he has a organization called Who Peed in the Dating Pool. And what he does is he creates a space for people who are marriage ready or marriage minded. Okay. And I don't know what filtering process he uses to determine that, but when they have the actual live event, he's putting quality women in front of quality men and allowing that environment to gel. Okay, what I'm saying to Guru is we might need him to get with all of the brothers that are quality men and all of the sisters that are quality sisters that you could find, and create those spaces so that you can mingle, and God willing, that's what Kevin Samuels ended up doing. But the rest of the community still needs a mechanism to get into that monster reality and change it. Okay, and we could walk and chew bubblegum at the same time.
Black Eagle. Let me ask you a question. If we had a mass amount of black men, BLK men, who walked away and stopped dealing with our women, a mass amount, would there be less DV crimes that black men were arrested for? Would there be less DV in the homes?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Would there be, just listen, let me follow through with these questions. Would there be less out of wedlock births in the black community?
No.
I think there would.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to say there'd be less out of wedlock births. There'd be less single mothers.
Yes.
Okay. Would there be less problems with black men and black women having high amounts of stress because they can't get along?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if those same men, now follow me, those same men said, we're going to go to another nation and deal with, or several other nations, and deal with different women and establish families and build over there. Do you think that, let's say those men went to 2 different nations, just 2 nations, somewhere in Africa, do you think those 2 nations would then start to experience high rates of crime, DV, high rates of single motherhood? Or do you think our men would be more at peace and take care of and stay with those women? Which one do you think they would do?
That's a good question, because I think, men who go overseas, I think they bottom feed when they go over there. Because I think they take negative behaviors over into those environments.
Okay, do you think that they would be causing a lot of DV? Do you think that they would making a whole bunch of single mothers? Which one do you think they would do?
If they're marriage minded, which few of them are, I think they would cause havoc, as in Colombia, when those passport bros went to Colombia and 8 of them lost their lives because they were bottom feeding. But I think that if you were marriage minded, like there's a component of those brothers who really.
Okay, do you know how many men travel to Colombia and nations similar on a yearly basis?
Okay. A lot.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you pointed out 8, which happened in 2023 maybe?
Because they was going out having a good time. He's saying bottom feeding, but they was going out.
Okay, so he pointed out 8 out of hundreds of thousands, probably 8 out of hundreds of thousands. Okay, so 8 out of hundreds of thousands. We're gonna say 8. But even amongst those 8, why has it not repeated every year?
Well, because I think it's a buildup. I'm a member of a site.
No, I'm asking you, right? So it should continue to repeat itself.
Exactly.
Well, it does, I believe. I think a lot of the.
Okay, do you have evidence of that? Because I would like to see it.
Yeah,
I do actually.
Okay, pull up. I want you to find evidence that men that are traveling to countries like Colombia are they're causing all these problems and being unalived because they're causing a whole bunch of problems in the country. I want you to find evidence that year after year this is happening.
Pablo Escobar.
So right here,
Pablo Escobar's hometown.
Well, no, hold up. Right here, you see it says Passport Bros. This is a site, and you see how many people are in this site? 53,600.
Okay, I'm not talking about that site. I'm asking you for exact news sources, evidence, statistics, some type of data. I don't want to hear about a group chat.
Okay, so men are talking about their experiences. You don't consider that valuable? These guys are telling you what it was like and what it's like in the country.
Well, check this out. Well, check this out, Black Eagle. If the men that were going there were being unalive, they wouldn't be able to talk anymore.
Oh no, I'm saying this data right here, this anecdotal data shows you why it leads up to those individuals. Like one guy is on here talking about how he spent $300 for a woman that he kept for the whole week he was there for $300. And so what I'm saying is, if these men are behaving in such a fashion,
false.
They're putting themselves at risk.
$25, you got it for 2 days. $75, you got it for 3 or 4 days alone.
All right, brother, I appreciate you, but we're not going to get anywhere. Hold on, Black Eagle. We're not going to get anywhere with Black Eagle. We're going to wrap this up here in just a second, Black Eagle, because we're not getting anywhere with you on the data.
I think we got
hold on, listen. I asked you when we started this, I said, Black Eagle, do you have your data, your statistics ready? You said yes. You said you had your data and your statistics ready. It's obvious that you don't. The only thing you gave me was some mental health numbers in the beginning, but that has nothing to do with how it relates to what I say about our women, what they're doing in the community, what our men are doing, how we can't get along, which is why I say the men and the women need to separate. The women need to not be married, not get in relationships, not have intercourse with our women until they know how to act. And the ones that do know how to act and that comes from good families, I promote marriage with them. I promote our men to marry them. But guess what? You know what most men tell me?
What?
Like you wanted to mention all my followers. You know what most men tell me that wanted
They tell you?
listen, the ones that want to deal with our women, you know what they say?
What?
Recreation use only. They only good to hit and quit. That's what they say.
Do you advocate that?
No, I don't advocate that. But do you hear what I said? Most of the men that follow my content, that's what they believe about our women.
And they're breaking women in the process. And then
I've never advocated hit and quit or anything like that. I've always advocated for our men to reproduce with because it's too risky. Hit and quit with our people is it's high risk.
Hey,
it's
brother,
high risk, and it's high risk of you getting a disease. It's high risk of you getting her pregnant, or she's crazy. Who knows? They're getting crazier and crazier by the second.
I would say tell those men, don't mess with women unless you're prepared to go the distance with them for good, the good, bad, and the ugly. That's why I'm here, bro. And that 60-year-old brother.
You said you're prepared to go the distance with BW for the rest of your life?
I am prepared to take on one for the team.
With a BW, right?
A BW woman.
Okay, didn't you talk to me about a Catholic woman who you have interest in? Is she BW?
No, I said she introduced me to Catholicism, which I am taking seriously.
Are you interested in her?
I'm interested in the faith.
Okay, you're not interested in her?
No, I'm not interested in her.
Oh.
I'm interested in the faith. I have a interest already. And, when I fall in love with somebody, my spirit is in the phoenix nest at Sinai.
So guess what? If you become Catholic because of this Caucasian woman, right?
Yeah.
It's not likely that you're going to mesh with a BW. Very few BWs are Catholic. Very few.
Well, the BW I'm interested in is an atheist. So she wouldn't even be coming into any religion.
So why would you, if you're trying to become a Catholic, man, why would you be interested in why?
Well, one is because this black woman is not interested in me at all. And
okay, but I'm asking you, why would you as a Catholic, potential Catholic man be interested in a woman who is an atheist? Why?
No, bro, listen, I'm telling you where I am in the current, and as I'm weaning off of that, this situation, because I discovered.
What's your religion right now?
Right now, I'm a wandering Christian, and I'm also
and you're in love with a. Hold on a second. You're in love with an atheist?
Yes.
Should you? I'm asking you. Should you, as a wandering Christian, you're a Christian still, be in love with an atheist woman?
Well, I can't choose who I fall in love with, bro. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm a human being. So when this woman, her energy, her rage excites me. Okay.
Her energy and her rage?
All of it excites me and I enjoy it.
So she has, so you're, like you said, you're part of the problem. You believe that a woman that you're in love with has rage inside of her. And that turns you on. That turns you on.
It's raw.
Hold on. Her rage turns you on, huh?
Her rage turned my spirit on, bro. It turned my spirit on, and I've been in her zone for 2 years. I've been in her zone for 2 years, and that's serious for me. But she don't love me at all, and that's cool. I don't need her to do that. I control my love, bro.
Okay, but I'm saying to you, I want you to think about what you're saying. You're in love with a woman because you're saying part of it is her rage. You know what rage means?
Oh, there she go right there.
Okay, she's up here now. So do you know what rage means?
Yeah, I do.
What is rage?
Oh my God, it's raw anger.
Raw anger?
Raw.
Really?
Yes, and I have never seen it. I've never seen it so wielded so gracefully.
Folks, just think about this. This is our community. This man is in love. He likes. He's attracted to. He believes that the woman he's in love with is full of raw anger, and that excites him. And I've told this man before that he behaves like a BW. He does. He behaves like the average of our women, because the average of our women are excited and turned on by toxic men. Men that are angry, men that are full of all kind of negative feelings, animosity, and want to do stuff and smash up the community and smash up whatever they can get their hands on. Our women, a lot of them are in love with those kind of men, but he's saying that's what he's in love with. He's not in love. He didn't say that she's a woman of peace. She's a woman that brings him joy because of her calm nature. He said her rage.
It matches mine. That makes us equally yoked.
You want to talk?
You
That's a
know,
lie.
and
Go ahead,
That's a
Nick.
lie. You need to stop it. And you got to stop telling people that you're in love with me, because the people know that you are lying. You know that. And you need to stop lying. And the funny thing is, everything you said to Guru in my life, you was against him. You was so against him. And it's funny how you became a flopper. You weird.
not a flopper, yo.
Yes, you are,
That's not
because
right.
first,
No, it's not.
there's a lot of things like the other guy said, I forget his name. You did say a lot of negative things about women in my life before Guru started coming in my life too, because I asked him to if he could come. But you used to say all women are liars. You said,
I still believe that.
okay, but then why are you going against Guru? Because you say all women are liars. You said they can't be trusted. You said all the women, the single moms, abuse the child support system.
Facts.
You said that. What else you say? Oh, you with Kanaya wrote something down there. Oh, with Cass, the white tea woman, Cass. You was laughing when you shared with us that she called her biracial children ninjas. You actually, Kaz, guess what? How toxic Kaz is. Kaz is a white tea woman who's married to a Liberian man. She is more ratchet than black women in the hood. She was more ratchet. I'm like, how did you get a woman who wants to be a ratchet BLK woman? And she told everybody in my life that she was blacker than me.
I told you before I called and you asked me to call, I told you that this woman was raw energy. And I said that. And I also told you that we only had one interaction, and that when she smacked me at that interaction, we were never in each other's presence
I have
again.
another.
And
Myers remind me. You also call women the bitch each word.
oh my
And
goodness.
this is the other thing. You are the pookie. You are the guy who actually target all of the women that Guru was talking about. You target them, and it's like you try to be a savior, kind of. You pay for it locally. You just don't pay for it in Colombia. You pay.
I fall in love. That's not.
Okay, so when you ran into that chick that you and your homeboy was in the mall, you bump heads on an escalator with the lady with the 5 children, with the multiple fathers. You said you messed with her for 2 years, and every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you was at her house. You gave her like $200. You fed the kids. Y'all got drinks and cabbage and got smashed. You did that for, you said, 2 years, and then when one of her baby daddies came home, she left you to go back to baby daddy. You had a couple of these women. You target those same women that you now agree with Guru about.
Well, that's not accurate. I fell in love with women because I'm very loyal to a flaw. And, you know,
What you're further saying, actually, Black Eagle, you know, I just picked up something new about you. What you're actually saying is all the things that you like that are toxic behaviors in our women, you believe that this woman right here has that. You talked about her rage. You said before that you believe that she's a single mother. You talked about the way that she treats you. And then you just admitted tonight that that's a turn on for you.
Yeah,
so you believe that she embodies the toxic things that you fall in love with in women. That's what you believe about her.
I believe, yes, she is definitely toxic.
I would never talk to a guy like you. And all those women that you talk to, I'm not those women.